Hey everyone, happy Tuesday and welcome back. I hope everybody had a fantastic weekend, had a good week. You know, my week was kind of fun and interesting. I had some really sorry, it's turning down my phone so you guys can hear the feedback. But I had some, really good days. I had some really slow days. So I feel like it was like a mixed bag, last week as far as that is concerned. So before we even, begin, get the fun stuff over with. Hi, everyone. I'm Kim from Kim's Side Money Plans. If you are new here and like the contents of this live and go check out some of my videos, please don't forget to subscribe before you leave today. Also, everybody who comes in here, don't forget to give this live a thumbs up, and then we'll kind of get started. So like I said, my week was interesting. The way I'm going to kind of go through my week and kind of what happened, kind of do like a little recap. I did, a recap of my earnings of Doordash today, so you can check that out, but I will definitely go over that as well. I had a couple comments and questions that I'm going to answer tonight from today's video as well. So that's kind of the lineup and, exactly what we're going to be doing tonight. And then obviously, if you guys have any questions along the way, I will be more than happy to try to get to as many questions as I possibly can tonight as well. So, hey, Red, what's going on? Haley, how are you? Thomas, what's going on? Lisa, how are you? Tommy, how are you? Welcome. Josh, what's going on? And Ghost77, how are you? Josh, you are going for Top Dasher. Good luck. Your first go around was crush it, Josh. Just go all in. Like, just literally just take every order and go all in. I think my biggest thing, and this is one thing I can tell anybody going for Top Dasher the very first time, it's going to be painful. I'm not even going to sit here and say that it's not. It's painful, but you have to get out of the mindset, and this is what I struggled with my first go round. I had to not think about anything that I previously thought about, and I had to go in with the mindset, I'm just taking every order. There's no such, even though in the back of my head, I know that there is, a thing as a bad order. Like, I went into it, there's no such thing as a bad order. I'm just taking every order. There has to be like a rainbow at the end of, the storm. So that's kind of the way I, went into it. So once I changed my mindset, and I feel like I became a machine with it. And Josh, you do multiple apps. So, I never tell anybody to do what I do, but multi-apping through the process really helped me because I wasn't stuck on one app and making my money. So, if that's the one thing I can, give you advice on, that actually worked for me, really well. Well, that's not good if you're the most hated dasher. Why are you the most hated dasher? It's because you're a top dasher. No hate, no hate here. I always say this is a judgment-free zone and an equal opportunity dasher dash gig worker. So no hate here. My AR is at 63. Okay, and I want it to be at 70 plus. You got this. We still are 12 days out. The one thing that I have learned, and I think I started last month a little too early. I'm going to start it a little later this year because I still had like 3 days to go before the end of the month, and I had already made my 100%. So, if that's the one thing I learned last month to this month, I'm going to wait it out a little longer before, I start the journey back up. But actually, so we can do show and tell for a little bit because LOP for life, Thomas, that is, so true. It has really done me well. And I really can't say enough, great things about the LOP program. So actually, let's go into it. I'm going to turn down so you guys can see it. So you guys can actually see exactly where I stand right now. And this will be my client. Okay, so I don't know. Can you guys see that? Okay, so 9% acceptance rate is where I'm at right now. So I have a little ways to go, but like I said, it's 12 days out. To me, it's still a little too early to start the climb back up to 100%. So hey, Bud Soda, how are you tonight? So we those who are going for it, you know what? Go get them. Go get them. And I wish you all well. And we'll compare notes if you guys have any questions. Like I said, please feel free to reach out, or even as you're going along. If you have any questions, just let me know, and I'll be more than happy to answer them for you. And don't think that you're not alone. You don't have Grubhub right now. I haven't switched to my Zorinto, and you don't use Uber Eats. Oh, okay. Well, go Augusto Doordash. For you then, I only thing I can tell you, and that's your own decision. If you want to go the last like 5 days of the month and do 20 orders a day, that's I feel like the most popular option that people do. So, go for it. Everybody just go for it. If you're thinking about it, just go for it. Okay, so let's get into tonight. So that way we can kind of go through my week real quick. Just real quick, some housekeeping stuff. I know I announced it last week, but if you haven't, checked it out, I am now on TikTok. So if anybody else is on TikTok, don't forget to look me up under Kim's Side Money Plans. I already did a couple of videos, so that is actually really exciting. So if you guys have a minute and you're on TikTok, go check me out. So I find it actually really fun because you can actually use a lot of things that you can't use on YouTube, you can do on TikTok. So I've been actually having a lot of fun doing it as well. Oh, you have Deliver That in Curry. Okay, so you can multi-app as well. Just like when you actually turn on DoorDash, you actually just have to take the DoorDash orders. You can't, skip them, and you only have. I always say you have 5 get out of free jail cards past your 100 delivery. So use them wisely if you're at 100% completion rate. So definitely use those wisely. But I used my completion rate percentage points for like those like really wackadoo orders. I'm making this up. Well, no, I'm not making this up. I think during the last one, I had a 10-mile order going to for $2.75, and I took it and canceled it. So use them wisely. It's the only thing I can say, but there is definitely sometimes that you might have to use I call them the get out of free jail cards. I saw you on TikTok acting all goofy. Yeah, I'm a big goofball. Like I said, I've been having fun with it, so it should be a lot of fun. So don't forget to check me out over in TikTok. I am merging my world. So nice $90 Macy's order. That's awesome. Congratulations. Oh, Ghosty just followed me on TikTok. Fantastic. yeah, don't get kicked off. Don't get kicked off of LOP. Stay at that 95%, completion rate. So definitely, that's one of the biggest ones is completion rate and acceptance rate. And I think sometimes people forget about the completion rate. So don't forget about that completion rate. Hey, Ellen, you just followed me on TikTok. That's awesome. Oh, I'm so excited. Like I said, I feel like I'm having a lot of fun over in TikTok world. So hopefully I can grow it just like I am growing YouTube. So hopefully they can kind of merge together and, we can have fun together on both platforms. So talk about, my week so far. The beginning of the week, I did a video on, stacked orders with Doordash, and oh, they're hiding LOPs and stacked orders. And maybe I'm naive. Hey, Steve, how are you? I didn't think that LOPs were in stacked orders, and maybe that's just maybe it's just me. I don't know, but the curiosity killed me with that order. I think it was like 26 items, and it was in a stacked order. And I'm like, okay, well, I have to take it because I have to see what this order is. And when I went to the one restaurant that had the 24 items, it didn't even say take a picture of your catering rag. It didn't have any indicator it was an LOP, but the subtotal definitely was an LOP. So I've been finding a lot of really weird, strange things as I've been going through. Like I said, I've been doing DoorDash now for 4 years, and um, I've never really seen half of the stuff that I've been seeing through this process. I don't know what's bringing it out, or just DoorDash is making some changes. I don't know, but it kind of threw me for a loop, and I just wanted everybody to kind of know about it. So just in case you didn't know about it, I didn't know about it. So, DoorDash is hiding some LOPs and stacked orders. So, sorry. So yeah. So just beware. Yeah, buyers beware. It is out there, and oh man. Stay away from Panera, large order. Panera is stealing tips. So this is what I've uncovered a little bit about Panera. And I have nothing to base this on. It's just literally observations, and it's just my own opinion on Panera. It happened to me that I really believe one time, and this was a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, that they really did steal a tip away from my catering order. I think Panera has two different orders. And Josh, I'm looking at this, and I actually think you're set, and this is kind of goes in line with what I am saying. So I had one that was a disaster, and I'm like, there's no way and I know the company, and I knew the people I was delivering to, and I'm like, there's no way that this company would give me a $10 tip, and it was a $200 Panera order. So I really thought that Panera actually really did steal my tip. But what I've learned lately is there's kind of two separate orders. There's a large order program per se if you're not in the large order program. So if you just get it as a regular Dasher, it actually just comes up as a regular Panera order, but it doesn't say that it's an LOP because you might not be in the LOP program. But if you look at the subtotal, it's usually low item count. It's usually like one or two items, but the subtotal is really high. From coming into the LOP program and catering program, I've now learned and forgive me, I can't remember the acronyms. It's LOP LOC, LOE. I can't remember. It's LO something, and it says Panera, and it says LO. I think it's LO. Is it LOC? You guys actually might know better than I do. If it comes up as large order catering, that's what it is. LOC, large order catering. If it comes up that, I've gotten really good payouts from Panera. So I really feel like there might be two different types of Panera orders going with Panera, and some are good and some are bad. Some I've had really bad, and some I've had that are really good. And you kind of have to watch out. Buyers beware. You have to watch out. But I agree with Josh. Not all Panera catering orders are bad. Catering is the best. Catering is the best. I've gotten more. Thank you, LLC. Thank you. I couldn't think of the acronym. I've gotten more catering orders in the past 2 months than I've ever gotten. I've learned my lesson, and this kind of goes back to last week and not really happening this week. And live and learn, because I'm new to the catering world of Doordash. Easy catering, you have to be careful, because not every easy catering is good. In fact, this week, I actually declined a catering order because, thanks to you guys and helping me out, it actually was an $8 base pay, but it was going 13 miles. I'm like, there's not going to be a tip on that, and I actually declined a catering order this week. So I love catering when it actually works out, and easy catering. As soon as I feel like as soon as I see easy catering, I'm like, should I cancel this catering order? Because it's not gonna be good. Oh, that's awesome. Well, congratulations on moving to South Florida. That's a pretty big difference, South Florida from New Jersey, but you're from here. Great. Oh, that's awesome. So you get a little piece of home by watching my videos. That's awesome. Well, congratulations on your move, and I wish you the best. Nova did a really good video this past week on easy catering. So if you guys haven't checked it out, he did a really good video. Very informative. I actually really enjoyed his video this past week. Yeah. So, yeah. That's this is why I did the the video, because I figured if I'm new to the program, there are other people who are new to the program as well and might not know this. And if I didn't know there might be other people out there that don't know this. So yeah, Josh, thank you. And a couple of other people too, told me about the base pay of easy catering. So now I know. And like they say, live and learn, right? So yeah, you make your mistakes and you learn. I just try to, as stupid as my mistakes might seem sometimes, I feel like if I don't tell you guys about a lot of my mistakes, you might not learn from them as well. I want people to learn from my mistakes. So sometimes, as crazy and as stupid as my mistakes might seem, I always try to really share with you guys some of them that I do, just because I think we can all learn from them. Or you can tell me I'm wrong and I learn from you guys. That's the best part. You guys taught me so much about catering by doing that video that I actually had no idea about. So thank you to all of you guys for helping me out on that one. I have not, but I have delivered to the house next to him. So I do, I'm not going to disclose it because I know it's private and celebrities know want their privacy, but I do know his house and I know where he lives because I've delivered to his neighbors a couple of times, and his neighbors are famous, and I have delivered to them in the past as well. So I have a lot of famous people around my area just based off of the proximity to New York City. But yeah, it should be interesting. So, so Thomas, Um, Up until last week, I had that one big order. It was, $80 total, and then I got the $50 tip. But I'm gonna do a little spoiler alert. My wait until my video for tomorrow. It's the only thing I'm gonna say. I don't want to spoil it too much. But you know, stay tuned. Stay tuned for my video tomorrow. That's the only thing I can say. I'm excited for you guys to actually see it, because I had a holy, I can't curse here, so I had a holy bleep moment. So I can't wait for you guys to actually see the video tomorrow. That's the only thing I'm going to say. So it was up until last week, and it got broken. Okay, so anyway. I don't. Josh. I don't. The neighborhoods I deliver to are. I always say that. Kim, you're famous. Well, thank you. I don't think I am famous. I just think I'm Kim. I'm just, just Kim. Um, yeah, I can't wait for you guys to see it tomorrow. But yeah, stay tuned. That's the only thing I can say. Yeah, I'm a huge Bon Jovi fan. I've grown up in New Jersey, and you know, just to also give you, I feel like when you are local to a lot of these things, you're kind of immune to some of the stuff that you go through, but and the people you surround yourself with. But anyway, um, famous Kim for TikTok. Me and I know a couple of you guys said you just followed me on TikTok. So before tonight's live, I had 8 followers on TikTok. So yeah, I'm famous on TikTok right now. How many thousands do I need? I'll get there. Once I'm determined, I'll get there. With your help, with your guys' help, obviously, with sharing my videos. And thank you, Steve. He did a reaction. You guys have to go check out Steve's TikTok too. He did a reaction to one of my videos that I absolutely thought was absolutely hilarious. So you're going to have to go check out his reaction video to one of my videos as well. But anyway, so going back to, I'm digressing, but it's fun to digress sometimes. But yeah, Bon Jovi is very local to us in the area that I do a lot of my pickups, like from restaurants. He actually has this is why I think Bon Jovi is so awesome and he is so wonderful. He has a restaurant in, local town that I always pick up from. And he opens his doors to homeless during it used to be once a week. I don't know whether he has changed it, but during the pandemic, he would actually go to his restaurant and actually spend hours cleaning the dishes and actually working in the restaurant to support his cause and to actually support his restaurant. So I think he's super cool. And he's been known just to be like walking around here. Same thing with Bruce Springsteen. Bruce Springsteen is, he's more down south, but he's known to be around this area as well. So there's so many athletes and celebrities around my area. But yes, sometimes I do. I just don't say it because of their private. I want to respect a lot of these multi-mansion and $1 million homes privacies as much as I can. I like to show you guys when I come across huge homes, just because talk about life goals. I always say, man, life goals are right there. Sometimes I just want to like ring their doorbell and say, excuse me, what do you do for a living? Because I'm nosy like that. But anyway, now that I digressed into my area and celebrities around my area, but yeah, he's really cool. There's a lot of cool celebrities around my area. Anyway, so stacked orders. So buyers beware on, stacked orders. And then with that being said, I know a couple, and I know it applies to some of you guys, not all of you guys, because some of us are in the high priority program that has not come to my area at all. Yeah, I will. That's funny. Ring the bell and say, "Give me your wallet." Yeah, I don't think that would kind of work. That might actually land me in jail, opposed to just asking what you do for a living. But yeah, you used to ride your bike through Bird String. That's awesome. Because you said, Jonathan, you have a summer house. You have a house around here, correct? Right on the Navasink River, I think you said. Um, but yeah, I love my area. But anyway, so going back to my list, I always have like a list of everything I want to talk to you guys about based off of my week and what happened. So anyway, going back to, some of you guys have the priority program. I do not have the priority program. I have still the top dasher program, large order program, so on and so forth. So I know we're kind of all going through different things with DoorDash, but I still see item counts. I know a couple of you guys say you don't see item counts at all. That did happen during last week. There was probably been a half-hour time frame that DoorDash didn't show miles and they didn't show item count. And a couple of you guys were saying that's a norm for you. So I apologize because I haven't seen that yet. And, I've heard some good things, I've heard some bad things, but one thing I've noticed this past week, yeah, Pia, you have no item counts there. Oh, that really stinks. The one thing I've noticed, because I still do see item counts, or item counts are completely off, and I don't know whether it's DoorDash hiding items. I don't know what DoorDash is doing, but like I said, I had that. It said DoorDash said it was 4 items, and then it ended up being 6 items. And I didn't pay attention to it. Like the day before I started paying attention to it, I'm like, no, I must be like seeing things. And then like that one was like blatantly obvious, and I'm like, holy moly, what is going on? And then it like really got me thinking, oh my God, what happens if you get a pizza order and it says that it's like 2 items, and then all of a sudden you're coming out with like 10 pies because you have 5 plain and 5 pepperoni? And I'm like, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, I have like 10 pies to fit into my car. So, I based a lot of my decision making on item counts. I used to do it when I was a regular dasher. I feel like I do it more now that I'm looking for, LOPs and catering orders. And I feel like I use it more often now than I have in the past. But for me, it's a very big tool in determining whether it's a good order, bad order. And man, DoorDash, what the heck? What the heck's going on? That's the only thing I can say. You just updated your app today. I still have your old screen. Okay, that's good to know. Like I said, I still have mine. I know, Josh, you're not too far away from me. But Thomas, you were saying that you're up north and you're not seeing them. So I don't. Who can figure it out? Why people have it? Why people don't? But I don't know, but it's kind of screwy because, like I said, a lot of my decision making is based off of item counts. It's the restaurant inputting them wrong. It very much could be. I feel like we're quick to blame DoorDash. I know I'm always quick to blame DoorDash. DoorDash is screwing up item counts is okay, but I see no items. Oh, that really freaking stinks. Like I said, it's a pain. I can't even imagine not seeing any item counts, just because how like you're going in blind into a lot of these orders. And I just think that's, like I said, I'm a very big advocate for tip transparency. I always have been. But now I feel like it's just another thing that DoorDash is hiding from us and keeping information from us as independent contractors. Ugh. Ugh. Just ugh. Just Yeah, I haven't gotten any updates, but like I feel like my iPhone updates automatically. So yeah, Thomas, this is a good point. Same thing here. DoorDash has made some really good money for me these past like 2 months. So, for now, I am staying on course and, still, still making bank. So as long as I'm still making money and, it's still working for me, I'm still going to continue on the path that I'm on with Top Dasher just because, I don't leave money on the table. That's always how I've been, or how I always be. And, it's how I make, majority of my days and my goals. That's right, Jonathan, you did. I had one for 2 items for Little Caesar, and then it said 10 items, but it didn't tell me them. They gave me 2 pizzas. We checked the receipt, and they made me 8 more. Oh, see, it's screwy. It's just so screwy. I don't know what their end game is. I know they're always like DoorDash's thing is they need to get as many orders delivered, and I feel like they're doing anything means possible to accomplish that without taking into consideration, at least in my opinion, they're not taking into consideration how it affects the driver and what it does to a driver when we're out there. Hey, Marion, how are you? Oh, it was for a 5-year-old's birthday party? Oh no. Well, I'm glad it got fixed before you got there. That would have been that would have been a mess. Hey, Erin, how are you? Oh, so only thing I can say is just beware. The only thing I kept thinking was like, how much money did I like lose out on some of these orders because they're showing up like 3 items, 4 items, and they could be like 10 or 12 items, and I just lost out on a LOP or even a catering order because they're not really truthful about their item counts. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. So just beware. Like I said, learn from my mistakes. Learn from what's going on around you. The one thing I've learned through the years of doing DoorDash, even with doing this, is pay attention. I think like if I can give anybody any advice, like pay attention, because if I didn't pay attention, I probably would have never realized some of the stuff that I've been noticing. So, and that is literally just all like analyzing. Like, I feel like I've been analyzing and analyzing and analyzing a lot of my business like these past 2 weeks. And I'll go into that in a little bit because that kind of ties in with like today. Hey, bargain shopper, how are you, my friend? Ah, That's really funny. I wish it was sponsored by Dr. Pepper, but it's not. I am just a very big Dr. Pepper fan. So my Dr. Pepper fridge, thanks to Steve from Ride to a Rodeo. And if you guys also, I'll give a little plug real quick. If you guys haven't checked out, what's that right here? My new merchandise is up in my merchandise shop. So its kindness is always free. It is a world design, so it's more, universal and more unisex based. It has, I upped it for, the winter time. So there's hoodies, there's long sleeve t-shirts. So right now it's more, geared towards winter and the fall season and getting everybody nice and cozy. It's actually really cool because I also put in like iPhone covers. So like there's even like accessories that you can actually deal with. Okay, so anyway, that kind of, I feel like that's a really good segue into today's video. And if you guys, haven't checked it out, um, please, oh, Dr. Pepper, cheers, everyone. Oh, thank you, Dr. Pepper for life. You got it. Yeah, you're feeding my addiction. Ellen, this is actually kind of funny because I did a short and I never released it on. I was actually singing the Dr. Pepper jingle while I was actually drinking a Dr. Pepper because I thought only you guys would actually understand that, just because, a lot of you guys have been with me for so long. And I didn't put it out there just because I didn't know copyright infringements, if I would get actually copyright against me. So I didn't put it out there. Ellen, that means I'm dating myself too, so it's all good because I actually sang the jingle and I put it in a short. I just never released it. But maybe on TikTok I can do that. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I was afraid to, with copyrights, that I couldn't put it out there, so I actually, I never did. So, hey Jackie, how are you? So anyway, so going to today's video. So if you haven't checked it out, I gave you guys my weekly totals for last week, and I put in the week before's totals in there as well. So that was my today's video. I've been giving you guys, I usually don't give you guys weekly recaps. I feel like it's important just so you guys can see what DoorDash is doing for me in my area, and also in my Top Dasher DoorDash journey. That's why I've been giving you guys, as much as I possibly can. And because I've been focusing, like DoorDash has literally become my number one, or I should say my main app. But just because I just did my DoorDash totals, I did have totals in Grubhub. I did have totals in in Uber Eats last week, and I had totals even in Spark last week. So, I have multiple streams of income coming in. I just showed you guys my DoorDash from like last week. So that's kind of what I did. But I want to, I got not a lot of questions. I got some questions. Regarding it. And yes, I always feel like I have to, hey UDM, how are you? But I do feel like I have to clarify, a couple of times. And thank you, Thomas, for bringing that up. I show you guys what I do every day. I try to show you as many totals as I possibly can. It isn't about bragging. It isn't about, me saying, look at me, this is how much I've done. This literally is me showing you facts. I show you guys my good orders also. I show you guys my bad orders as well. But for whatever reason, I keep getting, feedback, which is fine. Everybody is entitled to their own opinion as long as you keep it respectful and you keep the curse words out of it. UDM, you got it right. They are going to say it anyway. They really are. But it's all good because you know what? I'll say it here because I know you guys support me. You know what? Gosh darn it, I did $1,500 last week. So it's the only thing I can say about it. So just a couple of questions I get all the time. And I'm gonna say this for I feel like the 5 millionth time because I feel like I address it every single week. But Soda, you can ask me any question you want. I go by active time. I know people go by dash time. I know people go by active time. I go by active time, and there is a very valid reason why I go by active time. And a lot of this actually came through Christopher. Sorry, I saw your comment. Message me on Instagram, or you can also email me as well. Anyway, I go by active time, and especially last week, I go by active time. I do a lot of market research in my area, and it's up to you if you guys want to do your own market research. But I do my own market research a lot of times when I am at home. And a lot of times I keep the app on while I'm at home, whether it's I'm cleaning, I'm cooking, even at late at night at 11 or 12 o'clock as I am editing. I might turn on I have been turning on my Doordash app because I really want to know where my market is performing at what times of the day. So I personally know, based off of my own schedule, what are the most optimized times that I'm going to make the most amount of money. So by doing that, I can actually work less hours and be home opposed to being out on the road. So I've been doing a lot of analyzing these past literally 2 weeks, including last night. I really tried turning the app on at midnight, and I let it go until 1:30 in the morning because there was a peak pay, and I really wanted to see what that peak pay actually entailed for my area and how busy it actually was. So for me, and I'm going to say this for the last time, I go by active time. I do not go by dash time. So even though not everybody, that's very dramatic of me. It's not everybody. A couple of people were saying, well, you worked 70 hours. I did not work 70 hours last week. I'd probably be in divorce court right now if I worked 70 hours last week. Hold on. But Soda, I'm going to put in the link I know you said you had a couple of questions, so you're more than happy to come on and ask me whatever questions you have. So anyway, I wanted to clarify active time versus Doordash time. For me, it definitely is active time all the way, just based off of what research I've been doing on my own time. But I also feel like I shouldn't have to clarify that, but it's all good. I get asked all the time the miles I drove, how many miles I do. Guys, I track miles for tax purposes. I am not the person that I'm sorry. I track miles for tax purposes. I don't sit here and analyze every single mile that I do. So I'm going to say that also. Yes, I have one tree, so I put 3. Yes, I am. Snowflake. Yes, the Christmas decorating has begun. I love Christmas. I am a Christmas nut. My Christmas tree is up in my bedroom. That went up this past week. I still have 2 more trees to go, including the one in my hallway and my main one in my living room. When the one in my living room goes up on, I will do my lives. I usually do them in front of the Christmas tree for the holiday season. So once that goes up, I'm going to start to do my lives in front of the Christmas tree. And then, yes, so I have my Christmas chair covers. They are up and ready to go. But I'm slowly starting to decorate because it literally, my camera just zoomed in and out. It takes me a while. See? Mary, you agree with me. Active time. See? Thank you. And Pia, you do active time too. So I'm not the only one, but to me, it's a true account. Okay, but Soda, you're coming in. Hey, Bud
What's
Soda,
up?
what's going on?
So the active time versus dash time, I try to go overall for my week for my total hours worked by dash time because I always leave Doordash on. But multi-appers usually go by active time because they're working multiple apps, especially
Yeah,
the way you work because you're doing one apps of orders at a time. I've never seen you stack it around like I do. So I really feel that you just got to do it your way. So I do have a couple questions for you. The latest one's market research. Yes, you can do it sometimes by sitting at home and watching what orders come in when there's peak, when it's late night, when it's the afternoon, when you typically don't come in. So you see, oh, there are good shopping pays out there, or is there any activity in a certain area like that's in your zone during those times that no one else wants to do? But I really feel that being on the ground running is the best thing you can do. Like when you first started Spark, you started going over to those areas and working your apps over there, your other apps, your food apps over there, so you can get a good feel for it. I think that's the best thing you can do. Like you said on UDM's last live that he had, your last TikTok live, is learn at least half an hour out of your zone. Really, I feel
yeah,
an hour because like he showed a screenshot of a $150 order that DoorDash was estimating it was going to take 5 hours, but some of those, like it was like four different clusters of groups. So those long distances, especially, you could snag an order that's at least paying $1 a mile off any app, especially DoorDash, because they love the long distance orders, and so does Grubhub. And you could really maximize your profitability that way by taking something like that by being at the market. So I really suggest that you get out of your comfort zone, even if you're in a very condensed area in doing that. Like even if you're in a really busy area like a suburb of DC, like Nova Dasher does, Northern Virginia, or you're north of New York City, in those areas where that screenshot came from, it's Jersey, New York City area, just outside the city. So I really feel that you really need to get out of your comfort zone and go learn your market. But the other question I have for you is how profitable are you during Hell Week when you're trying to raise your acceptance rate and you're taking basically everything in sight? Like, do you feel that you're losing money versus the way you used to work? Are you less profitable? Not just the dollar amount you make, the profit, like your dollar to
Pro-
mile and all that.
profit. Yes, it is less profitable during Hell Week. I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat it and say that it's not money wise. No, because I feel like I do it in a way um, that I multi app during my Hell Week in order to still make my goals, if that makes any sense whatsoever. Like I turn on DoorDash, Uber Eats, and Grubhub, and if a DoorDash order comes in, I take it. But if it's a Uber Eats or Grubhub order, I can cherry pick through those obviously more than I can with DoorDash. And then I actually during my Hell Week, I actually shut DoorDash off around like 7 or 8 o'clock at night because I don't want to be going to some of the neighborhoods that they might be sending me to. And then it's straight Grubhub and Uber Eats after a certain time. So I feel like I do it a little, different than, just doing straight DoorDash. So I feel like my profits might be a little bit skewed just based off of that because I feel like some of the Uber Eats orders and Grubhub orders taking offset some of the really, crappy orders I might actually take from DoorDash. But what I found out the last time that I did this, because it was the second go around, to me, it was a lot easier to do it this time around. Yes, I still got a couple of crappy orders, but it wasn't as bad as the first go around. So I feel like it was a lot more profitable, not by much, but I feel like it was a little bit more profitable doing it that way and being a top dasher already, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense to me. So my other question was going to be, are you? Oh crap! What was I going to say? Crap, 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 crap.
Just
Um,
as you're thinking of that
do
real
you
quick,
do you lean more on the other apps now that you're Top Dasher, and you said your zone before you went for Top Dasher, they were starting to gray out more, and you were having more trouble getting on. Is that part of the reason why you're staying the course on that?
Yeah, I mean, it's both. Yeah, it was, even now, when I get off and get on, like, it's gray a lot. So I love being able to dash now anytime. To me, that's one of the best features. Yeah, UD, you can join. Hold on. Hold on. Sorry, bear with me for 1 second.
Okay. Sorry, I stumbled there. I had orders coming in, and I was trying to
No, you're fine.
joggle between Doordash, Grubhub, and talking to you.
Yeah,
Grubhub
so
was missing orders.
so that's definitely one of the best features I've had doing this. But for me, you know me, but soda, I'm all about dollars and cents. Like, I've been making money just on one app. And for me, if it's less stressful and I can make it on one app, to me, like, that's to me worth doing Top Dasher as long as I'm making the money that I'm doing.
So do you feel like what's typically the hours when you're going for Top Dash, or do you do it off hours or on hours, like during lunch
Both.
and dinner rush, or do you more do it off hours?
Both. It depends on how much I want to. I'll be honest. It depends on how much I want to bang out during the day, like during a day. Um, it like I said, it also depends on my mood that I'm in for that day as well, and see how much I want to do. I'll usually start in the morning. Honestly, the best time to do it is during lunch and dinner, just because it's when you're going to get your best order, especially if you're on the Lord. Hey, what's going on?
Hey, what's up?
Good
What's up,
morning.
y'all?
It's so weird having you on this side
Why is that?
because I'm usually on your side.
I need to do this more often. I'm usually listening and working.
Well, it looks like you're working right now.
Well, I just got
Give me and do both at the same time.
I just got home, and before I walked in, I said, let me just hop on with Kim. I haven't been on. I don't think I've ever been on one of your live streams. Have I?
No, this is the first one. I'm so happy to have you.
Oh well, we need to change that, Kim.
I think we do.
No, I'm doing this. I was saying in the chat, I don't do Hell Week. I I don't see the purpose of doing Hell Week, which is supposed to be like the most stressful week for a top dasher or a cherry picker. It's like you do 3 weeks on of taking what you want, right? Cherry picking like crap, like hell, right? And then a whole week now you got to get away from that. You got to turn that switch off. Like nah, that is like the most stressful. I know I would be super stressed out. So I just avoid Hell Week and I just balance out my weeks. Like I just completed my second week. This is my third week. We're on the same amount of weeks, right? But um, I am just going with the flow. I took
You're doing it. Go ahead.
go ahead. No, go ahead.
You're doing it more like Tony style, the Driven Dad did. You're just doing 10 or however many orders at a time and slowly building your acceptance rate up versus just going all at once. I will say an alternate strategy that a top dasher I know here does is he'll do it like 5 or 6 days in advance. He'll start on it versus the last 3 or 4 days, because the last 3 days especially is when everyone's going for top dashers and there's the fewest offers available.
But
Well,
you know what? That's why I multi-app during Hell Week, so you don't feel like I feel like I don't stress myself out by multi-apping during Hell Week. Like, I feel like
exactly.
that's my way of offsetting, because, and I don't know whether this is a thing or not, but it's been working for me, so I'm gonna continue to do it. Like, the first month I did 99%. This month I did 100%. I have been in areas that are with other dashers, and we sit in a parking lot, and I've gotten an order first, and then it's gone to their phone second, third, fourth, whatever the
So
progression is. So for me, I feel as though it's good for priority orders, if that is a thing. If anything, hey, I'll be at 100%. It's all good. But I feel like that's kind of I feel like I don't go through a hell week just because I multi-app through my Hell Week, if that makes any sense whatsoever.
No, it definitely make a lot of sense. And the thing that a lot of people, I believe, a lot of the Dasher community, they are so focused on the, let's say, like the full-time Dashers or the people that are just dedicated to DoorDash. DoorDash is their bread and butter. DoorDash is their everything. They are the ones that want to count the dash time versus your active time.
Mm-hmm.
And unless a person really understands the life of a multi-apper, they will never understand how much more money we're making. That not really, if even if you're not seeing it on the screen, you're basing your judgment off of what you see on the screen. But we probably made a whole lot more than what you see. And I say that because I do catering orders in the morning, right? And my catering orders, they like the ones I did today. They put me at $180 before 12.
Wow.
So tonight I didn't have to go out. I didn't have to go out. All right. So I've been doing 10 deliveries a day on DoorDash to get my acceptance rate to 100 because of the previous conversation I had with Dash and with Vaughn. He said get it to 100% and da, 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 and whatever. I'm like, okay. I almost gave up on Top Dasher for next month, but I was like, okay, somebody gave me a new challenge. Let me try this one now. So I'm doing 10 deliveries a day, so I'm not stressing myself out. And with the 10 deliveries, I am making enough to put me well over $200 for the day because of the catering orders that I get back to back. I set myself up pre-scheduled for the next day. So I'm not really hurting when it comes down to taking every order because I already made majority of my money, drove the minimal amount of miles for the day, and now I'm just cruising when there's no traffic around.
And that's funny you should say that with multi-apping. And that's another thing about, active time versus dash time, because, I just showed in my video today, I just showed my DoorDash totals. I still have totals on Uber Eats. I still have totals on Grubhub. I still have Spark totals. I just didn't show those this far in my weekly earnings because this is my Top Dasher, DoorDash journey. So, with multi-apping, you pause and that counts towards your DoorDash time. But Soda, kind of going back to your point with experimenting in different zones, like when you have that Top Dasher account, I've been experimenting in different zones and I've been getting some ridiculous orders in a good way by just going to different zones that are close to me, but some that I'm not used to working in, including the one that I actually did today, which you guys will see in the video tomorrow. I don't want to give it too much away, but I beat my record. So definitely zones and being a top dasher has a thing because once you go from one zone to another zone, you're still a top dasher in another zone and you never know what the opportunities are going to be.
There's also something I've noticed in my market where even with taking some of these no tip orders, um, so for instance, I got two screenshots that I'll probably send to you after the stream, Kim, where I got a $10 and some change going 6 miles. It was going out of the zone. Then when I dropped that off, I got a $3 and some change. So it was like I think 10.50 and then 3.75 coming back the same 6 miles. And I know some people would be like, "You're driving excessive miles," but in all reality, I am just doing my round trip, just like Bud Soda and we turn trash to gold, right? Um, we always say if you take something that's going in a certain direction, don't come back with nothing. Don't come back empty-handed. So I took a $10 going 6 miles. It was like 10.50 going 6 miles. Then they gave me a $3 coming back, 3.75 going 6 miles back. And I'll show you is the same exact route, the same route. So
Yeah.
I made $14 for 12 miles.
Okay.
So I was like when I saw that, I'm not gonna say that's a Top Dasher thing. I'm just looking at it more like, wow, I see that they're allowing me to make $1 per mile or a little bit more than $1 per mile every single time, and I'm always averaging around the same. Like I took a 250 today. Today was the first time I've gotten a 250. When I took the 250, I think right after that I got something else, and then I got something else. I have the screenshots. I didn't register all of it, but by the time I was done, I drove 9.9 miles total, and I made $17.
Yeah. I got a no tip order and it was 1850, and it's weird because 1850 no tip order, but then it came back in at $17, which I think was totally weird too. So
So you declined the 18,
hmm
and
but
then it
then
came
DoorDash
back
people
in the
team,
17.
yeah,
or did you get it back a couple minutes later when you were closer to the restaurant?
but so it's a good possibility.
If you were closer to the restaurant, that's why, because they're deducting the miles paid.
Yeah,
Because I've
it's
seen
just
the
like
same order
strange.
come back. It's not very common on my market, but they do come back occasionally, and it'll be less, or it'll be on a stack, and you can tell it's for less. Like if you know what
Yeah,
you're looking for, that's just the thing. And like UDM was saying, stacking route, even on a single app, you can do it. Like
yeah,
think when you're out in the field, you're out 6 miles out, and think as if you were at the merchant. Would you take that order at the merchant? If the answer is yes, grab it and hope it stacks.
yeah. But going back to UDM, what you were saying with the dollar per mile, and I get a lot of comments that Hell Week is not profitable. Hell Week is you put more miles on your car, and the last time I did this and I did track everything is it ended up being $1 per mile just on the DoorDash app. Like I said, I feel like I made up for it when I was doing Grubhub and Uber Eats because that you can control your miles to dollar ratio. But I found with DoorDash it was still $1 per mile just by taking every order. So some of the larger orders outweighed some of like the crappier orders that you took, but it still ended up being $1 per mile. So to me, it was still, my minimum is $1 per mile. And it always has been. So to me, I didn't lose out on profitability when it came to even Hell Week doing, going for Top Dasher.
You know, your way of doing things, Kim. Listen, I I I salute. The reason why I salute is because obviously you know what you're doing in your market, right? And I really don't get why some people just can't understand that the way each person works is the way that they work, and they make whatever they need to make. Now, when it comes down to business, right? I see too many people making individual decisions, right? Like, say, let's use a restaurant for an example, right? A restaurant might have a good day and a slow day, right? But by the end of the week, or maybe by the end of the day, they average out how much they made. They count the money, right? So it's like, I don't understand why everybody's looking at one point, I'll let me, before I say that, at one point, I used to do the same, right? I used to look at each order as an individual order, and that's that. But like I said in previous videos, this whole experiment about being a top dasher and all that, it really changed my perspective on a lot of things. So now I'm more like, let's see what my money is going to look like and the miles that I'm going to drive by the end of the day, and if I'm profitable or not. If I'm unprofitable, then this is a problem. But if I'm profitable and consecutively, shift after shift, day after day, then this is really not as bad as I thought it was before I became top dasher or before I tried to become a top dasher. So now I have a different perspective where, like I was using the restaurant for an example. When they open up, it's probably slow as hell. They probably get one customer to come in, and they only want something off the cheapest menu, the cheapest thing on the menu. How much profit are you making off of that one thing, right? When you have a whole restaurant, you got rent to pay, you got this lease, whatever. You got all these staff, and this person just came in and they only bought a 199 item. you know, there's not much you're gonna make off of that to pay your staff unless everybody getting like 2 cents. And then you got to put it into getting the food that you got to buy. But anyway, what I'm getting at is by the time that restaurant closed, they go through the whole entire day, not just the one customer that came in. They go through the whole entire day and they count up the money to see how much money they made, how much profit they made, and so on and so forth. So I'm applying that same type of strategy when it comes down to seeing if I was profitable or not.
Yeah.
If I'm remaining profitable throughout my day, by the end of the day, by the time I start to the time I end, by the first day of the week to the last day of the week, by the first week to the last week in the month, if I'm remaining profitable, then I don't see the problem at all with
Yeah.
with any of this stuff.
Yeah, no.
How much profit you make is a different thing.
Yeah, I think different is what scares, period. And, but I'm good regardless, but kind of going back to your analogy, I use the same analogy when my very first, Hell Week that I did. I used it because, me, I come from a retail background. There would be mornings I would open up my store and someone would buy like $1.99 t-shirt from the clearance rack, and I wouldn't turn them away. And money is money. I'm going to take it no matter what, because that can be a catalyst to the rest of my day. It's just kind of how I ended my day, was depending on, what my DM and, my bosses went off. It's how you end your day. It's not how you began your day or a certain, transaction that happened throughout your day. So it's funny that we kind of have the same analogy.
Shiana or Cheyenne
Yeah.
Warren says actually I kind of disagree with that last part. UDM, as an analyst, yes, we looked at the whole, but you also have to go in the details to see what can be tweaked. For example, our fleet of products brought profits, but we found one line that wasn't as profitable as the others and was able to find ways to make more on it. It's it sounds similar to if there's something that's being sold in a store and it's not being sold as much. When they do their inventory, they have a whole crap ton of this. Why sell it, right? Why keep buying more of this product that's not selling, right? So that's where you're losing, right? So I feel the way that I'm looking at it, is it Cheyenne? I think it's Cheyenne.
Yeah.
The way I'm looking at it, Cheyenne, is more of what restaurant am I getting the 250 from? And somebody said that I'm gonna give Bud Soda a heart attack because I'm talking about 250. Bud Soda, I'm not trying to give you a heart
I'm
attack,
not
bro.
the worst one about it. You do you. You got 250 for 1.5 miles. Do your freaking thing. I could never bring myself to be 100% acceptance rate.
But Soda, I didn't think so either. And you know what? It was, like I said, it was just changing my mindset in order to do it. Granted, I did mine as kind of a journey to see what would happen, and it worked out for me. I didn't think, I'll be honest, I was skeptic. I did not think that I would be sitting here talking to you guys today the way that I am when I first started this. So I didn't think 100% was even possible. I just kind of changed my mindset and went for it.
So to kind of like, I guess, finish what I was saying, Cheyenne, I'm looking at the 250 as, or let's just, I guess, keep talking about the 250, right? So the 250, the inventory that I mentioned, right? If I take a 250 going to a restaurant that's gonna waste my time and is gonna make my day as unprofitable as possible because Because they're just extremely slow, or they're understaffed, or they take forever to make whatever. If my time is being wasted, then I'm choosing to go to a location that is not going to help me make profits for my day. So I avoid that restaurant that is sending me 250. So let's say a 250 for a slow restaurant and a 250 for a very fast restaurant, and the miles and everything makes sense. That's how I gauge what I'm talking about. So I guess we're not really saying different things. It's just having an understanding, and I feel like we're just saying the same exact thing, but we're just approaching it different ways.
You
That's
know,
how I.
what actually kind of reminded me, and this is what I think about when I even started this, is you and I had a conversation, and this is like probably a year ago, maybe less than a year ago, that we were talking about just taking orders, and that
Yeah.
everybody has a different situation, and you know what, just like we're here to just take orders, and that's what I do. I just take orders. So I feel like that was my mindset even to this day, even going through Hell Week. Like, I just take orders. Like, I'm just here to
Yeah.
make money, and I'm here to take orders. Like, there's, to me, I feel like it's sometimes more complicated than what it actually really is.
And I'll be honest and say, Kim, when we had that conversation, and you brought your perspective to the whole conversation, and it really, back then I wasn't a top dasher, but it was very valuable information for me to hear from someone that doesn't really operate their business the way I do, right? So it's like I own a friend. Well, this is just a scenario, okay? Um, I own a franchise of McDonald's, and you own a franchise of McDonald's, but for some reason your franchise booming over there. Like, what the heck am I doing wrong? And mine is just like, it's not as I'm making money, but it's not doing Kim's numbers. So I'm over here like, and I'm comparing your tips and your the money you're making over there. So I'm like, oh my gosh, like Kim is booming over there. So it's still the same franchise, still the same dashers, right? We're dashers, we're still in the same category, but it helped me look at some things that you might be doing with your franchise that I'm not doing with mine. And if I'm too stubborn to just apply what Kim is doing to her franchise to mine, maybe I might see a change. And that's why I did the video I did yesterday and trying to tell people, be open-minded and just try things. Don't just be set in your ways. Just try things. Because if I did not at least digest that information you put out when we had that conversation, I probably wouldn't even take a 250 order, and I probably would have, I don't know. I probably would have deleted my DoorDash app. Like,
You
because
were on the verge of deleting your DoorDash app.
I was. I was. I didn't do it for months. Oh my gosh. But now look at me. I'm a damn top dasher.
So can I do that? Can I say this? Because I got the rug pulled out under me on Spark, and always have those other apps that you might think as it's trashy. Like UDM was thinking about deleting Amazon Flex at one point. He was thinking about deleting DoorDash. Whatever.
Yeah.
Always keep these things in your back pocket and know how to work them and know your market, because you might never know when you need to lean back on them. Or maybe it's that convenient app that, well, there's this order that's it's $15 for 8 miles and I haven't got crap all day, but it's taking you to a more lucrative area, but maybe you can't work that app there, but you can do another app there. So having those apps for that reason is the best thing you can do. Yeah, have two phones, guys.
Well, I'm still a one phone girl. Haven't changed yet. But yeah, it never hurts. I mean, even doing this, I mean, DoorDash has gone down for an hour, 2 hours. They still go down. They still glitch.
Yeah.
Whenever that happens, I just hop on to Uber Eats and Grubhub. Like, that just never changes. Multi-apping for me still never changes. I'm still multi-apping. I just change your strategy. I feel like I took Top Dasher and I used it as almost like another app. Like it's a brand new app for me. I used it as another app that I added onto my arsenal. It's making me money. So I'm using it the best of my ability because it's making me money right now. So, and I always say, follow your money. Wherever the money's coming from, just follow the money and, do what works best for you in your market. So that's just what's been working. But I always think about our initial conversation, UDM, is, just take an order. That's how you're going to make money. Just take an order.
Now, you know what?
Thank you.
Now you know what, Kim. I try to tell people. I wish I had all the old information. I probably do, but I probably have to go through all my folders of old DoorDash screenshots, right?
Yeah.
But I try to tell people before this whole experiment, before I became a top dasher, I could never break $100. And if I did break $100, it was the low hundreds, right? Now I'm making money on DoorDash, taking every order, or not even taking every order, even like saying cherry picking some orders, right? Now I'm breaking $100. Now I'm still remaining profitable. All of these things, and I'm like,
Thank you.
now I'm like, well, dang, I was hindering myself from making money before on the platform, and I didn't even know it.
Yeah.
Yes, I was cherry picking like crazy. Yes, I was multi-apping. Yes, 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 yes. But it was hard for me to break $100 on DoorDash.
Thanks, Thomas.
I see you, Thomas.
But I think this is definitely the most eye-opening experience I have gone through with any one of these apps, just because you guys both know me. I don't like to leave any money on the table in any app. So I feel like over the years, by not knowing how to approach this program or even go after this program, how much money did I lose out in not taking by doing some of the things that I'm doing today? I guess they say live and learn, and like we're always evolving as drivers, and you're living and you're learning. It's just, I just keep thinking, I'm like, how much money did I lose out? But I guess you can't like think of the past. You have to think of the future and the forward, and keep, what else can you do to keep making your money?
So there's differences in everyone's market. Like Kim and UDM, you two can lean more on Uber Eats and Grubhub if you have to in another city, or even the other apps, like Instacart or Spark in your case. But like it's whatever it is. It's you do the best you can to your ability, and you make the best judgment call that you can. Is the fact that some people think harshly on you for it? Well, screw them. I don't know why people are so rough to you. I still believe Top Dasher is not that profitable, at least to me. I can see in some situations, like in my market, for example, if you are a single apper, you go for it at the very end of the month when you're like at the high pay order program here. If you're already hovering around 50%, what the heck is another 20? It's not going to take very much. You're not going to be unprofitable for very long. And like I said, my other guy does it over a few days, and he'll get back above 70. And his acceptance rate hovers around 50, 60. Another guy I know, his acceptance rate hovers around high 40s, and he'll hurry up and get it back to 50. But he's part of the high pay order program too. But he cherry picks like I do now, more so, like not more so than the other dasher I know. So it's situational things, and I really still believe multi-apping is the best route to do it. You are doing it probably the most efficient way possible, and not just ignoring all the other apps. And the fact that these people bought onto the idea, I can do DoorDash solo and make all this great money, I don't think that's a thing. You still have to have the other apps in the background. And if you're Top Dasher, why wouldn't you multi-app? Because you can hop on and off as you please. So that's the best advantage of it. And the only other advantage of Top Dasher is you can zone hop whenever you want. So like I did take advantage of that when they gifted me Top Dasher. So it is what it is. If it's 3:00 in the afternoon and I'm getting $2 offers over on my normal zone, but I'm getting a guaranteed $5 on the other, I'm going to take the guaranteed $5 no tip order. So I feel that you have to adjust your strategy based on the situations that's in your market. And it seems like a lot of markets are getting even more saturated than they used to be. Because I watch several gig tubers, and like their stuff will be grayed out, or like Nugs, he's repeatedly proven that people in his area will take everything. They don't care, indiscriminately take everything, and it's always oversaturated gray. But there's still enough good offers out there that he can make it the rest of the month well with DoorDash and his other apps. So it's I just wanted to put an outlier there as an example, and I feel the Top Dash is not for me. I'd rather schedule, and right now the military base is super busy, so I'm doing that. And what's profitable to you might not be profitable to me. What might be a good offer to you is not a good offer to me, and vice versa. Like, I love my highway miles. So do you, Kim. UDM is not so much on that train. He's like, I don't want to get dragged out that far. But I really feel that most people don't take advantage of that kind of thing. They don't think outside the box. How I make my money is exactly what Brian was doing in that video. Is he was grabbing these orders and hoping for a stack that's profitable to help make it profitable, or quickly look for another thing to make it profitable. And if he had to, he could grab that order, turn on his other two food apps, and look for an order going the same direction off those two, because the acceptance rate doesn't matter on those two. So, you got to do what you got to do. And you do it the single app way. UDM does it a more advanced multi-app way. He's more leaning toward what I do now, and I'm like crazy. I'm on a dual stack right now. I have 4 orders in my car.
I don't know. I just think it's money. Go get in UDM's words, go get your money.
I don't do that stacking thing anymore. Because it's just not necessary. At least not for me.
I actually got the idea to go hardcore on it when you did it with Deliver That, because you look for the restaurants that are close together or where you're going to make your next drop off. And I got the idea to go hardcore from that when I was struggling all summer.
But what I'm saying is, all right, look, there's so many different ways that I've applied different things down here where, look at what I just said to Kim. I took a $10.50 going like 6 miles, and I took a $3 going 6 miles. And like I said, I'll share that with Kim, and you'll see, Kim, it's the same route there and the same route back.
Yeah.
Same straight line. And some people will be like, it's a $3. I ain't taking that, but I had to get away from that type of mentality. I could only do but so much. Kim can only do but so much to try to show people there might be some level of some kind of benefits in not becoming a top dasher, but just changing your mindset. Kim takes orders. So Kim takes orders. And what you just said, Bud Soda, is basically you're looking at each individual offer, whether it's profitable or unprofitable, where I understand why you look at it like that. And I'm not going to say that I never looked at it that way as well. But like I just said earlier, when a restaurant opens up, as early as it opens, and when it closes, that's when they count their dollars to see how much they made for the day. So if you only base your decision based on your first offer versus all your offers for the day, and to see how much you made and how much you lost, how much you profited and how much you lost, then you're not really doing yourself any justice, in my opinion, because you're only basing your decisions on the individual order. So if one customer came in and they only spent $1.99 in your restaurant, you're like, hell no, shut down. Hey, no, we only got one customer for $1.99. We going home today. But you didn't give yourself enough time for your day to see how much more you can make. So I'm not telling you how to dash. I'm never trying to tell anybody how to dash. I just feel like I said, my perspective has changed on instead of looking at each individual offer, I make a decision based on whether this is profitable or not by the end of my shift.
Yeah.
When I'm done, if it was profitable, I did good. If
Yeah.
it was unprofitable, I did bad. And then if I have many bad days and I'm like, well, this might need to go into the trash. I can't keep doing this because it's just not going to be a good business decision,
Yeah. I,
and
I,
that's it.
I think you're so right. And I think with me, like, I'm never afraid to learn something new and apply what I learn. And whether it's good or bad, I still share it, whether it's good or bad. But I think the most important thing I've learned is, like, just keep an open mind. Like, don't just shut everything out. Like, keep an open mind. Like, you never know the possibilities that are out there until you try it or you keep an open mind to it.
Like I'm looking at the comments, right? And I see Lorena. She said you're you're wasting wear and tear and wear and gas. You have to be smart and get low mileage at least $2 per mile and be worth it. That I've seen that comment, that type of comment, and this is nothing towards you, Lorena. I've seen that type of comment so many times where I'm like, it feels robotic. It feels like I'm just jumping on the bandwagon where, oh, it gotta be this, it gotta be that, because the community says it has to be that. But looking at things a different way, and again, I, I have videos I've done and I've said I'm a cherry picker for life. But my perspective changed in October of 2022. My perspective changed, and now I'm trying to remain profitable. If I'm remaining profitable, and when I say profitable, my lifestyle, my gas, how much gas costs in my market, how much wear and tear on my vehicle, how many miles am I willing to drive? Am I going to take $4 going 20 miles? No. But would I take $4 or $3 going 6 miles? It all depends, because if it's a situation where I'm gonna remain profitable because I just drove 10, oh my gosh, my wife knows that I'm outside and she's like blowing up my phone with text messages. So so if I take $10 going one way for 6 miles, if I drive back, that's 12 miles for $10 if I don't take something coming back. That's going to be upside down. And I don't want to be upside down. So when it comes down to profits,
Yes.
I don't really think a lot of drivers are really looking at profits. If you really want to look at profits, you cannot have your daily driver doing these types of apps, because if you're going to really look at profits, how much more are you losing with your daily driver, not just while you're working, your daily driver, even when you're not working, you're driving it to wherever you're going. You don't see Amazon workers or Amazon going to do grocery shopping in their vans. The only the only time they use their vans is when it's time for work. So when the shift begins and when the shift ends, they park it. So if you're really talking about profits and losses, how much are you using your daily driver? So when the conversation comes up, Kim, when they're talking about it got to be $2 a mile on each individual order, I could be very technical and tell them all of y'all in the red. All of y'all ain't making no damn profits. Why? Because you're using your daily driver. And your daily driver, what? You're burning gas. I'm sitting right now with my AC on and I'm burning gas. I'm not doing anything, but I'm burning gas. All of this has to be counted if you're really going to be technical about how much you should be paid for using your vehicle. If you just have, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Why is he popping up on two screens?
I don't know. I got rid of the other one. I was a little confused there myself.
So I'm just like, I could be
Being
very
bought soda
technical
over
about
here.
I could be very technical about it, but that would be too technical, right?
You know, I
And
but
and that's a whole different conversation. It's probably gonna make some people upset, and
but
I ain't trying to make them upset.
I'm going to talk a little broader though. So for me, and yes, we all know I'm on the large order program and get catering orders. So for me, like when you look at my weekly breakdown, like my tip to base ratio is absolutely insane some weeks. But the reason why I'm saying that is I'm just going to give an example of last week. I got it was an $80 order plus I got $50 in cash, so it was $130 going. I think it was like 9 miles or 10 miles. That big huge order in some cases is going to offset some of the crappier orders that come through.
Yeah.
But I am cherry picking throughout the entire month until I get to the very last month. It's just the very last week. And like I said, I don't think it's unprofitable when, at least in my case, when it's $1 per mile, but my Uber Eats and Grubhub are offsetting some of that dollar per mile ratio, and then it becomes more like $2 to $3 per mile. So I just feel like you have to find your balance and what works best for you. But some of those huge orders that you're going to get as a top dasher and large order program, if you can get into it, are always going to offset some of the crappier orders you're going to have to take at the end of the month.
Can you hear me?
I can.
So I guess since I didn't respond to her text messages, she called me.
You got to go. It's okay.
I don't know what's
Take
going
care.
on, but
Please tell her I said hello.
I will. I will. But when it comes down to like how you dash, Kim, and what you're doing while you're doing it and while you're making the money you're making, if we really gotta like show our numbers right on the road, I if I really gotta average out my numbers for while I'm on the road, people will be upset. The reason why I say that is because the catering orders, right? I make a lot per mile on my catering orders. So if I'm being a business person, I'm driving. I'm I'm driving. I'm making my money. I'm not just looking at how much I made on Doordash, just Doordash. I'm looking at how much I made for the day and how many miles I drove for the day. So that's why I said people will be upset when it comes down to me doing catering orders. Just like I feel a lot of people are upset that they can't get into the large order program to make this type of money, and now they're looking for other options, or they're quote unquote hating on people that are making money and they're in the large order program and they're doing what they need to from home. So
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of tension because of large orders. So when you go out there, Kim, you make your money, you do your thing, you dash from home, you're getting these large orders, but you don't even have access to the apps that I have access to for large orders.
Yeah.
So you're getting it on DoorDash. I don't have the large order program, but I'm getting it other ways.
Right.
So I see I see it as keep doing your thing, Kim. Bud Soda, he's gonna do his. I'm gonna do mine, and it's just one of those things where we just have to keep on doing what we do
Yeah.
and give up on trying to prove ourselves to the people that are not willing to digest the information that we're putting out.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
I could only do but so much. Kim can only do but so much, and we could only say about enough times. You know, what else can we do?
Yeah, I would say run your business the way you like. We are a business. Run your business the way you want to run your business. Whatever app that is, however you want to do it, you're your own business owner and go run and make your money the way you need to.
So
I do have to hop off, but so I know you were
Bye.
trying to say something. I do
you're good.
have to hop off, or I might have to sleep in the car tonight.
Oh,
So
go.
Us live
so
stream getting in trouble.
so I'm just gonna leave y'all with this. Hey, listen,
Thank you for
Kim.
being on here.
We need to do this more often. I didn't even realize I'd never been on the screen with you on your channel. We need to do this more often. This will be on you though. You know,
Yeah,
whenever. Uh, but yeah, Bud Soda, make your money, man. Kim, I keep getting more and more jealous the more you put out those videos showing how much you made. Right, with just Doordash, I'm not making that kind of money. So I'm working right now to get into the large order program, and hopefully I get into it. If I don't, I don't. You know, but I'm trying to go for this triple threat. And when I say triple threat, I mean large order program on Doordash and the other options I have for catering orders. So
awesome.
I'm trying to go for this triple threat. Then I know once I start putting out those videos, people are gonna be mad. So
It's okay.
not
Haters are.
everybody.
What's the song? Haters are gonna hate. Is that the song? Taylor
Yeah,
Swift.
yeah. So anyway, have a good night,
Have a
Kim.
good night. Thank
Have a
you.
good night, everybody in the chat. Thank you for getting me on the screen, Kim, and thank you for making me a part of the conversation. Good night, Bud,
Night.
Bye.
and go home, bro.
No, I'm gonna be up at
Later.
3 a.m., bro. I'm out for
Bye.
6 more hours.
Later.
Well, anyways, Kim. So I wanted to add, it's a lot of it's market dependent. You live in probably one of the better areas. You in like the Jersey area in general. With you in all right. What you and Flex do is crazy. But all right, I gotta go because I'm getting a phone call by my customer. I'll let you get off your screen. Take care.
Okay. Okay. Bye, Bud Soda. Who my thing went back. Okay, so just to get caught up real quick, just want to say real quick because this came through as I was talking. So thank you, Lee. I really appreciate it. So guys, I think this is. I had so much fun tonight. I just feel a lot of these conversations are always important to have, and I really appreciate every single one of you guys being here with me. That's good English. With me on Tuesday, and thank you to UDM and Bud Soda who came on tonight as well, and thank you to everyone in the chat. So, with that being said, guys, I will see you guys next Tuesday. There are 47 people here right now, so don't forget to hit that thumbs up button before you leave tonight. I would really appreciate it. So, guys, if you're driving, please stay safe and healthy. Remember, kindness is always free. I love you guys. I'll see you next Tuesday. Come back, and I'll see you next video. Bye, everyone. Peace out.